George, welcome to our local business segment. Today we have an extremely exciting guest with us in studio. We're talking to Mr. Marshall Grant, the CEO of the Garden Route Innovation and Technology Hub, GRIT for short. He is a former lead software engineer for a Fortune 500 company, Home Depot, that is headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia. And he wants to bring his knowledge to the Garden Route, 20 years of experience in the information technology and services industry, and share that with local business owners here specifically, but South Africa as a whole. Sir, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I want to start the conversation off with the hub and the factors that led to you deciding to start that here. And what are some of those things? Why was it important that you started in the Garden Route specifically?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I've been coming to South Africa since 2002. Obviously, I am an American. Yeah. So, yeah. And I originally came. I was part of it was a mission trip actually. It was in Plettenberg Bay, and I loved the Garden Route. I did go to Cape Town at one point, but I was just like, I know people in the Garden Route. So, naturally, if one is a foreigner and they come back to a place, they kind of want to be where familiar people are. Yeah. So I just said, look, let's go to the Garden Route. We moved actually in 2016 to the Garden Route. At first at Plettenberg Bay, obviously, because where I was first. And then we eventually made it back to George, where I am now. Yeah. I remember there was an interview with Madiba back when he first came out. I think it was in probably 93. Right? Yeah, when he came to New York City. And then there was a Black American, I think it was with Tom Brokaw or one of those guys. And there was a Black American that stood up and said, we as African Americans, what can we do to help South Africa? And so then Madiba, he said in his voice, right? Yeah. He's like, come to South Africa to bring your skills. We need your skills. We need that. And that's why I'm here. I'm literally here to transfer what I have.
That's amazing.
I'm in this phase of my life where I told my wife, I said, look, I want to invest in people and invest in money. And so that's where I am. I don't do it. It's a nonprofit. GritHub is a nonprofit organization, nonprofit company. I believe that our role is to spark innovation and tech in the Garden Route, to shift the economy, literally, to bring a high level of skills, because I saw that lacking, and I still see it lacking.
Exactly, that's amazing. Yeah. Now that's like such a beautiful story, from Genesis, it dates so far back. Yeah. And the thing about tech is it's this term, artificial intelligence, that carries so many connotations. On one hand, you have people that feel extremely threatened by it, right? Yeah. And then on the other hand, there are people who fully embrace it. Yeah. And so that's something that we're really passionate about, informing people, as you say, through conversation, through chats and information sharing. And so what I want to know is, what is artificial intelligence to you? Okay. And what does it necessarily mean for the future of business?
Okay. Yeah. So artificial intelligence has actually been, the term was coined back in the 1950s. And actually the development of artificial intelligence has been since the 60s to now. So artificial intelligence is actually not a new concept.
It's been around.
Yeah, in fact, there's three types of artificial intelligence, because it is actually a computer science. So people have been studying this for a very long time. What the idea is, how can I take human understanding and give it to a machine? That's the fundamental idea of artificial intelligence. So there's three types of artificial intelligence. You have weak AI, you have strong AI, and you have super AI. So weak AI is the AI where you have machine learning algorithms. We use Google search. The YouTube video this is going to be a part of, right? You'll probably see to the left there a list of other AI videos.
Exactly.
Because I'm saying the word AI, so and it's going to be AI in the title, right?
Yeah.
So the algorithms, the AI algorithms that are tied to YouTube and to all these type of things will say, I'm going to recommend this AI, these videos. So recommendation engines, your Alexa, your Apple Siri, all those are actually AI instruments.
Exactly.
And we've been using it for a very past probably a good 10, 15 years.
And we sometimes
we don't even know it.
Yeah, we didn't know about
it.
Right?
Just didn't know it. Well, we've been using it for a while. So, and then we've been actually adding to AI for a long time too. So our various blogs, you like something, like all these human inputs, right? We're actually teaching, machines, because you did accept the terms and conditions, which says I can take your data and use it for whatever. Exactly. I mean, it's true, right?
It's real.
So we've consented to this.
Yeah.
Whether or not we read the terms and conditions or not. The reason why I'm saying this is because I'm part of that industry, right? So I have to write terms and conditions. So everything you do, right? Like the accepting of the cookies and all this tracking and all that stuff that you do, you've actually contributed to development of AI. Now here's the interesting part that I'll get to later after I finish it too. So the second one is strong AI. So this is the one that was most recently introduced. It's been developed for the past 20 years as well, in addition to super AI. But strong AI is the next level from weak AI, where it basically says, I have some level of human understanding, and I can give you back what you've taught me, right? So for example, an image of a beautiful sunset. So we have strong AI that actually we have told the machines over the years, this is what a beautiful sunset looks like, right? Yeah. So then when we say generate a beautiful sunset, it creates a beautiful sunset from a human perspective. Like it could draw it like a 4-year-old, right? And we'll say, well, that's not beautiful. Okay. So then it learns, okay, we had clouds, we had
what does this
color, we had sunset, so we add, right. So over time, now your generative AI actually creates what we have told it to actually represent from a human perspective, what we deem as beautiful. Whether it's a beautiful person, beautiful sunset, we've defined what beauty is. So then the AI says, okay, based off of the human input, I'm now going to export what you have told me that beautiful is. So that's strong AI. Same thing with ChatGPT, right? We've said this is a proper constructed sentence. This is how you take, these letters and formulate a word. Here's the adjectives. Here's all these things. Here's all these input. Here's how you think constructively, and then this is how you formulate a sentence
and bring it together.
So we've taught it that.
We fed it that information.
Right, we fed it that information by doing blogs and Twitter and all kinds of all these things we've added to it, right? So then that's the generative AI that we've just been introduced to. Now the AI that most people are afraid of is actually super AI. So not super the super it's like a super duper mega AI. So that AI is where the machine has sentience and consciousness. The only problem is we don't even know the definition of consciousness is. We don't know what the true definition of consciousness is. But we do understand what sentience is. It's basically where I can make my own decisions based off of my inputs, and as an entity, I rule my own life. So that's super AI, where we've given it everything. It's this child, now it's grown up, and now it acts on its own, and we let go. Wow. And that's the AI that people are afraid of, right? But again, at the end of the day, for me, tools, technology, the things that we have developed is actually a reflection of us at the end of the day, whether it's good or bad.
I was conversation around job insecurity, because I think when we talk about the negative element, especially now as people in society and how we look at it, the concerns over what is this going to do to employment. We're sitting in Africa right now, and 2 countries that sit at the highest list in terms of unemployment around the world is Nigeria and South Africa. And so I want to know your views around how can tech in that space with those, stats on the table, how can tech play a role in addressing some of those issues?
Yeah. So I see technology as something that we use to be more productive. So a good example, one of the things that been doing for a very long time is e-commerce. Now, what a lot of people don't understand is that e-commerce is a store that never closes. It's open 24/7.
All the time.
Christmas doesn't care. It doesn't ask for
no
UIF.
Holidays.
Right? It doesn't ask for PYE. It doesn't ask for, you can't take it to CCMA.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
E-commerce is e-commerce. It will be open 24/7. Right? So it's an advancement in tech that allows us to have literally a second store. We can have a physical store, or we can have it, or some people just have that store only. And so it's one of those things where you can use to your advantage. It makes you more productive. It makes you more. It challenges your perspectives in terms of like your analytics and your analysis and things like that. So tech, again, is good. And we were talking about this earlier. I said, just think about, I don't know, 50, 60 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? That was what, the 40s? They used to deliver ice in blocks to your house. And guess what happened? The refrigerator was invented.
Literally.
Right? The ice box. Right? So it went from literally being an ice box
to now
the ice box.
And
right?
that's what everyone uses that in their homes.
Exactly.
It's standard.
Same thing. Milk. You used to deliver milk to your front door. Now we have grocery stores. You buy milk in your own thing. Same thing for diapers. Everything was delivered to your house. Now those jobs went away because of a big box store, a refrigerator, all these things where it changed the industry. And those people, they lost their jobs, right? They did. But how can we then take those skills, bring them up to speed in tech? So maybe the guy who was delivering ice now delivers refrigerators. So AI is another one of those things where how can we take the AI and merge it with that human intuition, right? We look at the situation, because AI, even super AI, I don't think we'll ever get to the point where it has that human intuition, because it's just a human trait, right? So how can we take these human traits but use the tool to further advance us, right? So like I'm a total sci-fi nerd. I love sci-fi. So like I was watching this video the other day on space travel, interstellar space travel, right? Yeah. And if it's like Star Trek, right? Like I watch TNG and all this, right? So can you have like shields? Can you travel at warp speed? Can you travel, interstellarly, between star systems? You have the quadrants. Can we travel in the alpha quadrant, right? Yeah. Like what? But like, so there's math that people are working on
to figure that out.
But AI can work it 24/7, work it constantly, and work these problems to find these solutions that could ultimately help us to do interstellar travel. So we understood the concept. We like AI. I always tell people when they take my classes is that computers are dumb. They're fundamentally stupid. This is why we have programs.
And
we give it the information. So AI will never say, "Hey, there's a universe out there. I want to be able to travel between star system to star system." It's not going to do that.
Yeah.
It's us who wants to do that. So then we use AI as the tool, right, to say, hey, how can we do this? So then it works the problem. We give it the kind of the physics behind it, the initial, math problems behind it. So we feed that information, and then now it takes those things and works the problem 24/7, and then it ultimately may find the solution to it. So this is how, I think the crossroads between AI and technology and what humans want to do could go there. And I think it's not going to make us dumber if we use it to make us smarter.
And do more.
Right. So, So AI can actually help our children have a deeper understanding of math because it can ask it questions, and the AI can ask my child questions for comprehension, right? So it's more than just taking a test, 1 + 1 is 2 type test. It could say, okay, apple 1, apple 2, how can we solve this problem? Like the AI could say that. And then my child will have to think further to dig in deep and bring out that deeper understanding. So that's why I think we can use it as a tool to advance us, to actually make us smarter.
And so I think that leads us to this conversation around businesses. And, locally in the Garden Route, but South Africa as a whole, small businesses dominate the market. There's a lot of small businesses, medium enterprise. And why is it important for those business owners to embrace this and to fully understand how these tech solutions, as you say, can flip their productivity? Why is it so crucial that we get this across to business owners in particular?
No, I think you're right. So even in the U.S., small business is actually the thing that drives the economy. Even though I work for a Fortune 500 company, it didn't drive the economy. It's the companies that use that drive the economy. So it is important that small businesses understand that tech can help give it some level of efficiency and accuracy and productivity. Whether or not I'm using a spreadsheet, whether or not I'm doing e-commerce, whether or not I'm doing some level of automation, whether or not it be automated emails or maybe automated package handling or whatever, but it gives you more efficiency and accuracy. And that's ultimately leads to better customer service, better customer outcomes. People feel more confident, meaning then they'll tend to buy more. And then you have this cycle, right? And that's where tech comes in. So it does help small businesses, not hurt small businesses, but I feel like you need people who are willing to say, look, this is how you do it. This is why GritHub exists. We exist to help those small businesses realize their technology potential. And we also help people understand that you can use tech to create a small business. You can have a startup. You don't have to build an app per se, but you can build a tech solution that solves a problem. So what we're looking to do as GritHub is remove those barriers.
Yes.
So we want to create something called a Fab Lab. So a Fab Lab is basically where you have CNC machines, you have 3D printers, you have laser cutters, you have all these cool things where if I need to make a cog, I can go, because the internet is open source, you can go find how to create a cog in CAD and come and 3D print the cog, come up with a proof of concept, and then now we can maybe come and get an investor. You have your prototype, you have your thing. We kind of remove those barriers of entry by providing those access to these tools. So now you can start a business.
Boom.
Right? That's our role. Our role is just to remove the excuses.
Exactly. Make it
right?
it easier.
Exactly. Yeah. Our role is just like, I'm not here to come up. I can consult and help you come up. My role is to remove those barriers. Like, don't tell me that you don't have access to these tools, because we're going to provide you with these tools.
And that's why I'm so excited that we've started this conversation, and I'm hoping that it has that impact, and it gets across to an audience and they understand that these opportunities are there. And what's very important for me in closing is then, how do people get involved? Yeah. How do people, because often that's also another barrier, is that we're hearing it, but we don't necessarily know, okay, how does an investor, or how does, someone who is running an educational center get in contact, get involved, and figure out ways to make this happen?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely come to our website, grithub.org.za. We have Facebook, Twitter, we're on all these platforms, and that's a good way to connect with us. Yeah. We have programs that we run. We have a kids coding program. Now, we're not a kids organization, but I do understand the need to really expose our children to tech. So we have a kids program we run every Tuesday. Okay. We have training programs we run every month. We do networking events. You and I met at one of the networking events. Yeah. So there's lots of opportunities to connect, and I'm one of those people who is open, because I feel like listening is active and passive at the same time. I need to hear what you're saying, and then we also need to do something to respond to what you're saying, right?
Exactly.
So I have agendas. I have things that I think I want to do, but again, I'm from the U.S., so like I don't know. I've been here long enough to kind of know what's going on, but it's good to hear from people. Right. So
I appreciate it, sir. Thank you so much. I'm sitting here like, okay, we need to make this happen. So looking forward to it. More conversations, more engagement.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.